What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap video, and today I'm going to have my bat in my hands because I'm going to be moving around a lot. It's going to be a crazy video, and we have a lot of news to talk about. But before we get into the video, I do have one major announcement. I'm going to ask you guys to do a favor for me. So if you guys do not have that bell clicked on, go ahead and click that bell because tomorrow I will be coming out with my first baseball skit in quite some time, and the only hint that I'm going to give you guys is these three words. I am 12. Well, I guess 12 isn't really a word, but it's a number. But I am 12. That's the only hint that I'm going to give you. It's going to be one of my best skits of all time. I hope it's going to be funny. My mom's going to be in it. So I hope you guys turn on those bells and be the first to comment on it. Because if you guys comment on it, if you guys actually watch it when it first comes out, YouTube does a better job at promoting it. So it would support me a lot. So I appreciate you guys. Let's get back into the stories. I always like to start off these videos with kind of just some light humor. So the first clip that we're going to talk about is a manager. He had a walk-off ejection. Yeah, you guys probably never heard that before. A walk-off ejection. What do you mean? Yeah, just roll the tape because me saying words out loud does not do this clip justice. So we're going to play the clip and then I'll kind of give my opinion afterwards.
With the third base, and Hobson's been ejected by Darryl Cooper. He's going to show Cooper what the check swing was really about. Oh, here goes Hobson. He's going to hit a home run and tap home plate. Won't count as a run, but he'll point to the sky, and Butch Hobson has himself a home run.
So that umpire milked the situation as best as he could. He said, if I'm going to be ejected right now and before I have to leave and go get a beer with my buddies, I'm going to make sure that I walk off this ejection. I've never seen anything like that before. And before we get into the next clips from yesterday, I'm going to roll a few of my favorite managerial ejections of all time. And then you guys have to let me know in the comment section down below. What is your favorite managerial ejection that you've ever seen?
He turned and whipped his cap towards second base. It's still sitting on the grass. And now McClendon walks back. He's going to pick up first base a la Lou Piniella.
And Joe was gesturing that ball was on the ground.
Mark Wegner had it. Just kicked dirt on him.
And our next story is not as funny as the first clip, but this one is going to make your heart kind of just feel better about yourself because Matt Holliday, yeah, he's still in baseball. If you guys forgot who Matt Holliday is, he's one of the greatest Rockies of all time, if not the greatest Rocky of all time. He's back with the Rockies, and he's playing today.
Swing, fly ball, center field deep. Young to the wall.
Oh, what a swing. And he drives this ball straight away center field.
I remember growing up and watching Matt Holliday do his thing at Coors Field, and honestly, as a lefty, I really wanted to be that guy. I never would be, but Nolan Arenado had the same approach. He actually modeled his follow-through swing after Matt Holliday, so I can't believe that they're on the same team now. That must be a pretty cool feeling, the fact that you grew up idolizing someone and then you're on the same team as them. That's just the coolest feeling ever. It'd be like me growing up and playing with Grady Sizemore. That'll never happen because that guy's body broke down real quick. But I just want to give a quick props to Matt Holliday for not quitting baseball. He could have retired like Jason Worth, but he said, you know what? I still got some juice left in the bat, and I'm going to go ahead. No pun intended. I'm not saying that Matt Holliday did juice or anything like that, but he still has a lot of energy left in his legs, so he's going to come and hit some dingers at Coors Field and hopefully secure that playoff spot for the Rockies.
But the only thing I can think of is Baez felled by that foul. And maybe got him.
Could have put a claim in on him.
High fly ball out in the deep left. Back at the wall is Goodrum. It's gone. A 3-run homer for Baez.
Now guys, I am someone that used to hit a lot of foul balls into my ankle, and I can promise you, I never followed up the next pitch or the next few pitches with the home run in my entire life. I was crying. That thing hurt so much. Every time I hit my ankle, it's like when a scooter hits your ankle, there's no difference. You are out for the count. You got to go get a cast. Your leg needs to be amputated. A foul ball to the ankle, it's just not fun. But not only does Javier Baez hit a ball into his ankle, he says, you know what, I'm Javi Baez, I'm in the MVP race right now, I'm carrying the Cubs right now to a playoff spot, I'm going to go ahead and jack this home run, even though I just injured myself. That's baseball is a crazy sport, man. Our next clip is going to be sort of a deja vu moment, but I promise you guys, it's not the same clip that you guys saw yesterday. So yesterday, there was a clip where Kenley Jansen gave up a game-tying home run to Matt Carpenter, and he did it again.
Here in L.A.
DeYoung with a drive into deep left, at the track, at the wall, gone! Cardinals have the lead. Two-run homer from DeYoung.
Now, I feel bad because Kenley Jansen just came back from a heart arrhythmia. It was a big scare. He might have not been able to play baseball anymore, but he came back healthier than he was before, so he's good to go. And in 2 straight games, he blows the save, and this time he gave it up to Paul DeJong of the Cardinals, the shortstop. He's actually a pretty good hitter for a shortstop. I'll give him that. Not the best defensive shortstop that I've ever seen, but if you don't know who Paul DeJong is, keep that name in your mind because he's going to be a pretty good shortstop bat going forward for the next 5 years. So if you guys are fantasy nerds, Paul DeJong, pick him up. So what happens next? The Cardinals take the lead, and then Jordan Hicks is one of those guys that he throws harder than anyone you've probably ever met in your entire life. He's up there with the Aroldis Chapman, Bob Feller, all of these guys in history that have thrown super hard. And Jordan Hicks might be up there in the top 5 because this guy, he's thrown a 105-mile-an-hour fastball before. And yesterday, he struck out the side with like 103, 102, and 103 fastballs. So this guy is no joke. And the cherry on top about Jordan Hicks is the fact that he's still a rookie, or he might be a second year. He's either a rookie or a second year. Either way, he's really young. So imagine if Jordan Hicks can get a little bit more command and control on that fastball and his off speed. If he can do that, we might be looking at one of the most dominant relief pitchers and closers that we've ever seen in the last 20, 25 years. If he can get everything under control, because when you throw that hard, that's really the only pitch that you need.
Soto 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI hit. Fair ball, right field corner. Ryan Zimmerman, high fly ball, deep right field. Home run! Two-run homer for the Z-Man!
Ryan Zimmerman is one of those players that every time he gets in the box, I just hope that he does really well. I don't know why. He's one of my favorite players of all time. He's probably top 20 of my favorite players of all time. Not that I have a list or anything, but if I did, he'd probably be in my top 20 just because he's always played the game right. He used to be one of the best hitters in all of baseball, if not the best hitter in all of baseball. I'll throw up his stats just so you guys can put everything into perspective about how good this guy was, but it's just really cool the fact that the Nationals, they have one good moment in the last couple games because Bryce Harper, he's starting to hit well. Ryan Zimmerman hits a walk-off bomb, so I'm not sure if the Nationals will be able to make a comeback considering they just sold Matt Adams and Daniel Murphy, so we'll see how that goes, but I don't know what to make about the Nationals. They have disappointed me for way too long. Yes, I'm an Indians fan, but above that, I am a baseball fan, and I just want the Nationals to make a World Series once, and they can't get past the division series, so yeah, I'm just a little bit bummed and a little bit annoyed with their efforts the last couple of years, so that's just me. But another thing about Ryan Zimmerman is he is of that age where he was one of the best players a couple of years ago, and then he got old, and it's the same thing with Albert Pujols, one of the best players that we've ever seen just a few years ago, and now age and attrition kind of caught up to him, but yesterday, he was the Albert Pujols of old.
Ground ball to the right side. Pujols gloves it, stumbles, rolls over, somehow flips it to Buttrey to get the out.
I hope Albert's okay. Ty Buttrey covering first base. Albert down the line, gets to that baseball, stumbles, and still a perfect feed. Ty Buttrey at first base.
I know you guys love Big Al, but to be honest with you guys, I feel like Albert Pujols was the very first Big Al, so hopefully Pujols can catch some lightning in a bottle and stay healthy and, on the diamond, because I feel like he has a great chance to get 700 home runs, 3,500 hits, and just be considered the greatest offensive player of all time, because he used to steal some bags too. I think one season he had 20 stolen bases. Don't quote me on that. I'll put the stats so you guys can check for yourself, but Albert Pujols, I hope that he continues to stay healthy and rake, because when Albert Pujols is on his game, I think baseball is a whole lot better.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a drive. Deep left field at the track, at the wall. Another leadoff homer for Acuna. Number 20 for Ronald Acuna.
So if we're talking about older players, we're going to have to talk about the younger players of Major League Baseball. So there are 2 guys out in Atlanta playing for the Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies. They are the first teammates under 22 years old in one season to have 20 home runs each. I can't believe I said that out loud, but I swear I thought that would have happened already in Major League Baseball history, considering the fact that baseball's been around for almost 110, 120 years. So Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna Jr., again, one more time because I know it's a mouthful. They're the first teammates that are under 22 years old to each have 20 home runs in one season. Craziness. And I think that's going to wrap it up for today's stories. I'll be honest with you guys, yesterday there wasn't anything too crazy that happened or anything too exciting, so we're going to go into the standings now because, the standings are one thing that we can always hope for at the end of the video just to kind of spice things up a little bit because they're always changing. Someone's moving up, someone's moving down, teams are staying the same. So in the AL East, the Red Sox are still 9 games up of the Yankees. The Indians, again, 13 games up. Nothing's going to change with those 2 teams right there. The Astros, though, the AL West is going to be crazy crazy going forward. The Astros are now 1 game up of the Athletics. The Mariners are now 5.5 games out. So they went from 3.5 games to 4.5 games out to 5.5 games. So Mariners fans, you gotta text your players and tell them to start playing better again. But the Astros and the Athletics have flip-flopped the past week. In the National League, the Braves are now 3 games up of the Phillies. The Phillies used to be ahead by 2 games, then they were tied, now they're down by 3 games. So all you Phillies fans, again, get your phones out, text the GM, text Rhys Hoskins and all the different Phillies players and tell them, get back on your grind, because the Braves are no joke. They got Acuna, Albies, Dansby's starting to hit really well, so watch out for the Braves. In the NL Central, the Cardinals are now 2.5 games back to the Cubs. The Brewers are 3 games out, so that's going to be interesting to watch the rest of the year. And then finally, in the NL West, the Diamondbacks are up by 1.5 games over the Rockies. And then the Dodgers, they were in first place about 2-3 weeks ago. They acquired Manny Machado, they got Brian Dozier, and now they're 4.5 games back of first place. They were supposed to be the dominant NL team going forward, and they're not playing very well. So maybe it's just a good time to be bad, because, you know, they're still only 4.5 games out, and the wild card still exists. So let's look at the wild card real quick. In the wild card, so the Yankees are still 3.5 games up. The Athletics are in first place with the Yankees. The Mariners are also 4.5 games back. So the AL wild card is kind of cemented at this point. It's probably going to be the Yankees and the Athletics. I'm not trying to jinx you Mariners fans out there, but that's my opinion right there. So I think the AL wild card is shaping up. And the NL, this one's going to be a little bit crazy, because we have the Cardinals and the Brewers in first and second place, and then the Rockies, the Phillies, and the Dodgers are all within 4 games. So that's going to be a spectacle, if you have to ask me. That's going to wrap it up for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. I just want to say your support means everything to me. Again, guys, click those bells, because I'm about to post a baseball skit tomorrow. It's going to be pretty funny. I can pretty much guarantee you guys will laugh at least once. So guys, if you enjoyed, subscribe, because we have so much more baseball content to come. I hope that you guys had a great first week of school. If you're going back next week, I hope that you guys have a great last summer weekend. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.